look at it. It's the new Audi Q8. It's the brand's attempt to offer something a little bit different in the luxury SUV space, competing with the BMW X6 and Mercedes-Benz GLE Coupe. And to my eye, it's better looking than both of those cars. It doesn't do the full swoopy roof thing, and it doesn't look like a try-hard as a result. Instead, it's muscular and strong looking. The Q8 is basically a shorter, lower, wider version of the Q7, but without 7 seats. This is a 5-seater, and Audi reckons because it has an even number at the end of its model name that it's a sportier SUV as a result. It's broad-looking, butch even, and look, you can get it on 22-inch wheels, so it must be sporty. If they're too big, 21s are standard. And the inside is a mix of designscape futurism and the comfort we've come to expect from Audi. There are touchscreens for the media controls and car ventilation up front and in the back if you option it, and Audi's virtual cockpit instrument cluster is a standard fit item. The space on offer is perfectly fine for a family of 4, and because it's not designed to mimic a coupe, taller occupants won't have issues with headroom. The second row seat can slide for better boot space if you need it, and the luggage capacity is very good for the class too. This 55 TFSI model has a 3-litre turbo V6 engine with 250 kilowatts and 500 Newton meters of torque, and it has an 8-speed auto and all-wheel drive. How is it on the road then? Audi reckons that the buyer of this car wants a vehicle that's fun to drive, and in some instances it can be. In the normal version, with adaptive suspension and regular steering, it can feel a little bit heavy. But in this version that we're in now, which has dynamic steering, which is a little bit quicker in terms of its ratio, and also 4-wheel steering, so it tucks itself into corners better, you do get a car that is pretty good fun. It might not be the ultimate in excitement, and it does still feel a little bit heavy, but there's plenty of traction and the engine and transmission work together really well. There'll be a diesel version coming soon which will have more torque and less fuel consumption. It'll also be all-wheel drive, also have an 8-speed automatic, and it'll also have the same 48-volt mild hybrid system that this car has. And what that means is that when you take your foot off the accelerator at higher speeds, it can coast, it can basically shut the engine down so you're not using any fuel. And when you're decelerating at a traffic light at below 22 k's an hour, you'll notice that it will cut the engine out as well. What it all means is that that system will help you save a little bit of fuel. Audi reckons 0.7 litres per 100 k's. And the claim is 9.2 litres per 100, which isn't terrific, but it's okay for the class. And on test, we've seen about 10.5 litres per 100 indicated on the dash. Aside from the tech, the big assets the Q8 brings to the class include excellent refinement with very little road raw from those big wheels, and it just feels like it gets the job done a bit more effortlessly than an X6 or GLE coupe, like it doesn't really want to stand out too much. That might be an issue for an extroverted buyer, but the question remains, does the Audi Q8 move the game on in the luxury SUV class? It certainly does for Audi. The Q8 offers a compelling and attractive alternative to the other German sporty SUVs out there. Not just attractive to look at, but in terms of value and pleasantness. Make sure you read our full review for all the details.